This is 1-1 at the Etihad, and you know what? I'm happy with that. I will take that. I'll take it all week, and I'll take it even more so after the lackluster performance from the Reds for the majority of that game. But thankfully, Trent Alexander-Arnold stepped up, delivered in the big moment in the game to get Liverpool the breakthrough, to equalise, and from there on out, we just about held in at the end. There was a really good chance for Erling Braut Haaland right at the end of the game from a City corner. He flicks it on, and thankfully, it drops about half a yard wide of Alisson Becker's post. But you know what? Sometimes when you look back on a season, there are defining moments, and I feel this could be one of our defining moments, because none of us in this chat, none of us watching now, will feel like that was vintage Liverpool, that we were at our best. But I think you'll all agree we'll take it. Big point in the context of the season. We will, of course, be asking you guys for your Anfield Agenda Man of the Match, so give us some suggestions so Connor can put it into the chat. Trent was given the Man of the Match award by Gary Neville at Sky, and look, what a goal. Can we just take a minute to celebrate that goal from Trent, because it was exquisite on a day where we didn't have too much to sing and shout about. Let's be honest, we were slow off the mark. The curse of the half-12 post-international break nearly struck us again. Haaland got the breakthrough for City in the first half. A goal that came after a calamity of errors from us. But we hung in there, we kept digging our heels in, and we found a way to get a point. And that's what the good teams do. And I'm pretty happy, to be honest with you, leaving the Etihad with a point. Could not be prouder, said Kane. Could be an incredibly important point. Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't agree strong enough with that, mate. When we look back on this season, we have now played City away, Chelsea away, Spurs away, Newcastle away, Brighton away, and I think there's probably one more in there I'm forgetting about. So we've done some of the heavy lifting in the first half of the season, and we're still right up there at the tippity top of the league. 1 point behind City, having played them at the Etihad. I'll take that. I'll take that any day of the week. So yeah, lots to be optimistic about. And I want to go through and read some of your comments. Magical Matip said Faraz Khan. Sir, he was brilliant, wasn't he? You know, there were some people in the chat saying, oh, Canade should have played. Why Matip? Joe Matip was brilliant today. Brilliant. As was Trent. So the Anfield Agenda Man of the Match poll is open. Your options are Trent, Salah. How did Salah sneak in there, by the way? How did Mohamed Salah get into that Man of the Match poll? Joel Matip or other are your options, excuse me. Let's hope Ali and Jota are okay, said Operatus. Yes, let's hope they are. Ironically, a lot of us called for Jota to come off at half-time and Curtis Jones. It didn't happen, but we eventually got the substitutions. It's just a shame that one of them had to be off the back of Jota's injury, and I hope that's not a major hamstring for him. I hope he'll be back soon. Likewise, Alisson, obviously, who went down at the end of the game. I'm hoping that was just a bit of... I'm sure he felt something, but I'm hoping it was a bit of gamesmanship to just run down the clock a bit and settle. But there were very few great performances today. But let's give some credit where it's due. I thought Costas held his own today in a game where, let's be frank, we were all nervous about Costas starting it. So he did well. Trent up against Doku was always going to be a difficult battle, but I think Trent more than held his own. I thought Joel Matip and Virgil van Dijk were really good. Alisson, well look, he had a heart in her mouth on a few occasions. Weirdly, today was a day where I felt that we didn't really get the impact from the forwards. But look, I find it very hard to complain when you leave the Etihad with a point. I can't be unhappy with that. We're back, said Layla and Sophia. McAllister looked better, said Steve Aldersey. Yes, he did. There was a couple of times in that first half where he was under real pressure and managed to hold on to the ball well in midfield. So yeah, look, nobody was brilliant today, but it doesn't matter. It's a results business. And that's our biggest threat to the title. And we've left our gaff with a point. I'll take it every day of the week, particularly after an international break and a half-12 kickoff. So this is a weird feeling, because I'm really happy, but yet not really at the performance. Is that weird? Is anybody else feeling like that? Like a little bit confused right now, but happy confused. So, your man of the match poll is open, as I said. We've already had nearly 1,500 votes. And we will, of course, let you guys know before we finish the match reaction who wins that. But it's looking like a landslide at the minute. City drop points at home. Huge result, said Hainesy. I want to give a shout out to the few Manchester City fans that were in our chat earlier on. We're very polite and nice. Nice to see you guys in. Thank you for your thoughts on the game as we went through it. City fans crying robbery. I don't know. I don't get that. Like, am I missing something here? I don't know how that was a robbery in any way. I thought the referee actually was brilliant today. VAR didn't have to really interfere with that, which was great. If City are talking about the Akanji challenge on Alisson, look, it was a foul. You can see the left. It was the left hand on, or was the right hand on the left shoulder that was the foul. Look, was Alisson weak? Yes, but it was a foul. So if that's what they're crying about, I don't know. I can't help them. I disagree. Another tough away game out of the way, said VI Jokers. Thank you for your super chat. A couple of more super chats to get to here. Let me just catch up. Davino, how are you, my friend? Said that was a good game and we walked away. Or excuse me, that was a good game. We walked away with a point. Matip was great. The subs changed the game and overall the referee was very good today. No BS. I felt the same. The ref didn't want to make himself the centre of attention. I have no complaints. Kudos to the VAR and officiating. It was a fair match, said Lauren. They let two monster teams with legendary managers battle it out. Credit where it's due. I love that, Lauren. Thank you. Great comment. And I agree. I thought the ref did a great job today. But weirdly, I don't think we've seen the best of either of those teams today. Both sets of managers, players, and probably fans will be feeling if they had showed up today. If we'd have been at our best today, I think we'd have beaten City. If City had been at their best today, I think they'd have beaten us. It was a difficult game to judge. But again, I'm over the moon to be leaving there with a point. Really happy. Gravenberch needs to start. Oh, I thought he was great when he came on, Brandon. I really enjoyed Ryan's performance when he came on today. Should Trent be in midfield, said Gokul. I don't know, buddy. Like, do we need him there? Like, he impacted the game in a really positive way today. Still had some great defensive moments. And scored the goal. All from, technically, an inverted right-back role. Pep and Darwin got to go in a ring and settle it, said Capello. Oh, look, Pep was salty. You could see it in Pep before that final whistle. He was salty at how that game had gone. Look, even at the end of it, salty shaking the fourth official's hand. People moan about Klopp. People love it. But Pep is a bitch. I'm going to say that again. Guardiola is a petulant, salty little clown. Over and over again. He's all giving it all this on the sideline when his team score. At the end of the game, he was being really snidey to the fourth official, sarcastic handshake, and then gets into it with Darwin about something. Leave him to it. In the past, you mentioned, Craig, watching Salah visually that he wasn't at it. I agree. I look at Doku and I feel Salah stifles Darwin sometimes. He doesn't stretch the game like in 2020. So, today was a weird one. I felt Salah was a little bit weak at times. But I get what you mean about Doku. But Salah's at a different point in his career, to be fair. The days of Salah being a pace merchant are behind him, and he's reinventing his game somewhat. What I like about the Salah and the version of Salah we're seeing now is those little slide rule passes down the line looking for Darwin. On a couple of occasions, that's brought us a bit of fruit. Look, none of our forwards, I think, were at their best today. But there's nothing makes you happier than getting a result off the back of feeling you could have done better. If we left there with a loss today, we'd have all been sitting here thinking, we should have been at it. They were there for the taking. I feel like leaving with a point gives us a great shout for the rest of the season. We weren't great, but I'll take a point, said King James. Hot take, I think Diaz was poor and Jota should have stayed on. Well, he was injured. He couldn't have stayed on. Jota went off with a hamstring injury, mate. And look, I don't think any of our front three were great today. But you know what? That's okay. Because that front three, whatever versions of them that we get, are normally difference makers, you know? So it's okay for a front three to have an off day. Nothing wrong with that, because they'll be back and they'll do us justice in the future, because they're a great collection of players. Christian, how are you, my friend? Said, I'm happy but dissatisfied, if that makes any sense. Much love from the USA. I had many heart palpitations today with this match, and what was Darwin doing with Pep? I absolutely understand, Christian, where you're coming from. So I'm unhappy with the performance. I think most of us are. Because it felt like they were there today for, not for the taking, but they were beatable. But we didn't show up. So I totally get where you're coming from. After an hour, I'd have taken that result every day of the week. And we asked at half time, I asked the chat, would you take a draw? And most of them were saying yes, yes, yes. Harvey Elliott ineffective. Oh! I give up. How on earth is your takeaway from that game Harvey Elliott ineffective? Of all the things we could discuss here, you want to have a go at the player who came on with 10 to go, along with Endo. Like, that's what you're trying to take away from this game. Come on, man. Drop the agenda. Oh, my God. Trent was not man of the match. Doku destroyed him. No, you don't know football. You don't know shit. How did Doku destroy Trent? I'll wait. How many goals did Doku score? How many chances did he create? He went past the man and gave the ball away. He turned on the outside and had his shot blocked. Trent intercepted and cut out on a few occasions. He's a very good player, Doku. But in no way, shape or form did he rip anybody to shreds today. He put in a good shift, and a lot of the football through City went down that left side with him and with Bernardo Silva. But stop. Nobody was ripped apart today. At least not Trent. Just drop it, because that's just nonsense. You can say Doku with a decent game, and he did, because he's a good player. But look, I've seen Trent ripped apart. I've seen people turn him inside out. Today was not it. Felt like a mini change of the guard to me. I can sense momentum is with Liverpool. That's the bigger picture. Do you know what today definitely made me feel? That Ryan Gravenberch needs to start every week now. He is nailed on to be in that team for me. I thought Gravenberch coming on made a big difference. I thought he was really good. We didn't really get Diaz into the game too much, to be fair to him, but at least he was a threat. At least he was an option. But for me, biggest change there was when Gravenberch came on. I felt like we all expected, right? He started carrying the ball through midfield better, and we started to kind of get a grip of the game a little bit more, get more time on the ball. So yeah, some of our fans, man, I don't get it. Or at least people who profess to be Liverpool fans. They come into every stream and they piss all over Elliott and Trent no matter what they do. Like, I criticise the heck out of people, but for the right reasons, when I think they're genuinely bad. Some people have their mind made up already. Craig, hopefully Brentford can do something against Arsenal. Oh God, I forgot that was the 5:30 game now. Yeah, there's definitely there's opportunities. This, like, if you look at City's run of fixtures as well, they've got some tricky games. You know, they have Chelsea, they've got us. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they've got Spurs soon. So yeah, it's getting into the time of the season now where, look, you can't win the league in November, December, but you can certainly lose it. And right now, we're where we should be. We're where we'd hope to be, in striking distance at the top end of the table. And I think the really optimistic part is we know we can be better. We know we can be more consistent. We know we can play better. So I'm really hopeful for the remainder of this season. Today, honestly, I'm almost buzzing with a point. I think it's a great result for us. Did you see the angry City fans? I didn't really pay much attention to what was going on in the stands, if I'm being really honest, mate. But look, I just can't say this enough. I'm happy with a point. I really am. Obligatory boxing question. Do you watch Liam Williams KO? No, I haven't seen that. There's been a lot of boxing on, by the way, lately. Some of it I've just forgotten about. Tonight I'll be tuning in for Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron, though. Where would you put Gravenberch in midfield? In that Jones position, Oran. Where Jones was. Left side of midfield. With Szoboszlai on the right. And McAllister in the 6. Look, we have to accept that for the foreseeable as it looks, McAllister is going to be the 6. So, to get the best out of him, I think having somebody like Gravenberch and Szoboszlai just in and around him is a better fit. So, right now, Gravenberch has to play for me. Has to. McAllister was good. Credit where it's due, said John Williams. Mac is not a 6. He's not. But Klopp is making him into a 6 at the minute. I'm not going to push back against your hard tackle because I get where you're coming from totally. I look at it this way though. Of all the players that we have there right now, the combination of Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, McAllister, however we set them up, feels like the right 3 to be in there. So yeah, I'm happy with that going forward. Very off topic, but you should definitely watch both of Szoboszlai's goals for Hungary when you get a chance. Messi level stuff. I've struggled to find a link to them, to watch them, mate. But I will keep trying because rain. I've been told by lots of people they're great goals. Let's have a look at the Man of the Match poll. We've had over 3,400 votes. And we will leave it up for another few minutes while we keep the match reaction open. But it's a landslide so far. Costas was great, said Yusuf. We gave Costas his credit. I was nervous going into the game with Costas, but solid today. No mistakes from him. No diving into challenges. No leaving space in behind. Yep, I thought Costas deserves his respect today. Still room for improvement. Oh yeah, that's fair, Antonio. That's fair, mate. But I'd rather sit here and have the conversation with you, mate, about room for improvement after we've just left with a point. Thoughts on Alisson holding his hamstring? I'm hoping it was a bit of kidology, you know. I'm hoping he was trying to kill the clock. But I guess we'll find out in the next day or two if there's anything to be concerned about there. I think Curtis Jones was terrible. I think most of us today will agree with you. Jones wasn't at it today. Jota wasn't at it today. But that's okay. That's okay. It's a lot easier and nicer to sit here and go back over it knowing that we've got a result and we've left with a point. The added time is decided by subtracting 10 from how many goals City have scored in total. I can't understand 8 minutes, lads. I don't understand where that came from. I thought 5 or 6. I don't see... It wasn't a very start-stop game. There wasn't loads of injuries. I never understood where they came. Did Pep make any changes, by the way, for City? Did he make one change at all? No? I can't remember Guardiola making it. That's poor. Like, I know he didn't have many options from the bench, but... Like, even bring on Rico Lewis or something. Pep did nothing to change that game for City. If I was a City fan, I'd be pretty frustrated by that. Benjamin said, do you find it interesting, Craig? Pep's pre-match comments around the charges with him saying we haven't been found guilty yet. Do you think they're expecting the book and punishment? So he did say, jokingly, he'd carry on managing City even if they got relegated to Division 1 or League 1. But then he also said that they're going to be found innocent. Look, if you want my honest assessment of the Man City charges, it reminds me of what happened with Lance Armstrong. Absolute denial to the very end, and then all of a sudden admitting it. That's what I think. I've seen it before. I've seen them point the finger at other sports people when they're feigning their innocence. I've seen them try and go in on people, try and pick up on any little misinterpretation to try and use that as their defence. Look, let's wait and see what happens with those charges. But today we left the Etihad with a point, and let me take you through what the league table currently sits like before those 3 p.m. games. So right now, the Premier League table looks like this. Manchester City, after 13 games, are top with 29 points. Liverpool in second place with 28 points. Obviously Arsenal, who play a half 5, currently in third place. Spurs in fourth. There is a weird way this weekend where we can drop out of that top 4 if Villa get a good result. Oh no, Villa are playing Spurs tomorrow. There's no way we drop out of the top 4. But there is going to be some interesting fixtures this weekend that will give us a good read on where everybody's at. So we've done our job. We've got a point. I think most of us would have been happy with that beforehand. We've got a difficult game tomorrow to watch between Spurs and Villa. That's going to be interesting. Arsenal is no gimme away against Brentford. And then obviously Everton United tomorrow. Pep didn't have many options. No, that's fair, Anthony. We did say that before the game. Like, it was one of the weakest benches I've seen City have. Rico Lewis was probably the only one I could really think of there. Maybe Gvardiol defensively if you wanted to change it up a little bit. Give credit though, Ake's a damn good defender. I've continuously underestimated Ake. He was very good for City. Pep is ruffled. He's scared of Liverpool again, said John Williams. Villa to crush Spurs, said Malcolm. He had Stones too. Yes, fair Revenite. Nice shout. And we know how impressive John Stones has been in the system and the way Pep has asked him to play. They're showing us the replay now of the Akanji challenge on Alisson. It's soft. It is soft. But it is a foul. Because he's putting the weight down on Alisson's shoulder, which is stopping the force of Alisson being able to jump up. Now, it's weak from Alisson. It is. But there is a hand on the arm, and it stops Alisson being able to control the ball. So, I would want my keeper to be stronger in that situation. But I also do think it was the correct decision to give a free out. But Alisson still should have done better. Are we going to sign a number 6 in January? Not by the looks of it. Not by what I'm seeing reported, no. Defender, perhaps. That looks like it's possible for January. I agree. Soft foul, but a foul, said Christopher. Yeah. And look, I tried to be fair in every assessment of that game today. Some of the ones where some people were calling it a dive by Doku, I was calling it a foul because Matip caught him. So that's my honest view of it. It's soft but a foul. He came into the defend. What? He came into defend. I don't know what you mean by that. That doesn't make any sense to me, mate. Thoughts on Darwin, Salah and Jota? I didn't think any of the three of them covered themselves in glory today. I felt at least with Darwin the work rate was there. He ran the hard yards, somewhat without fruit at times, but look, you're not going to see me criticise our front three very often. But today they weren't at it. But that's okay, because we left with a point. The rest of the team stepped up, and I thought our defence was pretty good today, outside of City's goal. I know the clearance from Alisson was skewed, but after that, I don't know how Aki got the time. And I don't know how Haaland went unchallenged. But look, other than that, I thought we defended well. Did you see Darwin beefing up Pep? Yeah. That was... How do I say this? I like to see it, but I'm also happy Klopp was there to get him away. Because he didn't need to be getting involved. We won 1 point, City lost 2. Yeah, I always say this to you guys as well. Sometimes with these results, it's about how you get that result. So, if we had gone 1-0 up and City equalised and we left out with a point, I think we'd be feeling a bit deflated. But when you're 1-0 down, you're not playing well, Trent steps up with a moment of magic, you feel a lot more upbeat about that result. Andy, how are we? LFC Cali said, morning Craig, and what a good morning it is, up at 4 a.m. in Cali. I know so many dedicated Cali and South Cali Liverpool fans, mate, who get up at crazy o'clock to watch games. Mary Kate, I know over there in Cali as well, always gets up crazy early for them. You guys are awesome over there with the support you give the club, as is everybody, of course. In Australia, we had our friends in Australia finally got a decent kick-off time. I think it was 9:30. when we started our match. Well, no, it was 9:30. I think 9:30 when they started. Good morning. You think Núñez should have come off for Endo? Salah is staying on for too long, many matches. I don't mind who came off today. I understand Klopp was trying to shore up the defence, and I'm okay with that. So look, we're going to end with the man of the match poll, which did end it. Trent Alexander-Arnold was your Anfield Agenda man of the match. I'm about to go over and join Adam on top of the league. So there's a link at the top of the live chat right now. If you want to come across and join me and Adam for a watch along of the Chelsea-Newcastle game, just click that button and that'll take you right over. I will see you over there in 60 seconds. Talk to you soon. Again, thank you for your support. Again, don't forget that it was Trent Alexander-Arnold was your Anfield Agenda man of the match today.